Alright, my people, just so that I don't leave you lonely and so I can make this an actual helpful video. Story behind this car: I believe the head gasket was replaced, sorry, a little while ago, a few months I believe. No idea why, wasn't here. Let's come back looking like this. No coolant in there, loads of coolant in there. Concluded that the head gasket's been put on the wrong way. We've checked the cooler and whatnot and other things that could probably cause a mixture like this. That seems fine. So I've gone about pulling out the head. We're going to find out if that's the cause, hoping that it is actually, to be fair. I haven't done too many before myself, so when I was given this, I was like, okay, so I'll go online and see if I can find removal procedure. But there probably is. I didn't give it too much time, to be fair. But I was kind of guided as in, yeah, get that off. And when I initially started this video, it weren't for you, it was for me. It was more me making reference points, reference marks. I mean, like, as you can see, it's quite a few components that need to be removed. If you're putting everything back straight away, then usually it'll be fresh in your memory. There's a high possibility, like where we're working, what we're doing, that I don't know when this new head or this new gasket will be getting replaced. So obviously you take off a few components, just give yourself some reference marks, reference points, some things that are going to look similar and they might confuse you going back on. You can either mark them, take a little video, etc. Look, I've marked a few pipes, things like that, and take a few videos, and you just remember how things go on. Keep your bolts separate. For example, like I've got all my exhaust manifold bolts in here. This is the cam cover bolts, ignition coil bolts, injector bolts, because I actually had to remove the injector as well. I don't think that part was recorded in my recordings. Yeah, all the bolts on the side, majority of them I've pretty much left them in place, and I will. It'll be a lot easier for me taking it back. Side chest bolts, engine mount. Yeah, so I was initially just doing videos for my reference points, and as I'm doing it, and like I've watched it back as well, like, as I'm doing it, I'm like, okay, well, I'm a video maker, aren't I? So I just started to make a video, if it makes sense. So that might be why the start of the video don't really make sense, and as I'm going through the video, I'm more kind of catering for you. So then what did I do? Let's not beat about the bush. If you're looking at yours, your battery might still be there, your airbox might still be there, your turbo hose and whatnot might still be there, your manifold might still be there, inlet one, exhaust one. I was able to access everything on the inlet from the top, in terms of where it attaches to the head, and obviously from underneath I was able to access. There was a few fixings, I can't remember off the top of my head, but if you're a bit DIY, what's the word? If you're competent DIY, if you're DIY savvy, let's say, you should be alright. This could possibly be done on the floor. If I had to remove the subframe to get the exhaust out, DPF and whatnot, then I wouldn't do it on the floor myself. But since I never, you probably could suspend the vehicle, go underneath, detach exhaust, and that. I don't think I mentioned that I detached the exhaust when I was doing my recordings, but I have. Obviously you have to get the DPF out. It was 2 bolts. I've also removed it from its mounting, so it's just kind of sitting there. Let's see if I can move it with my torch. Yeah, there was a clamp, that clamp, 3 bolts and the DPF. These 2 pipes from the turbo I was able to access from underneath. I was able to access all of the exhaust manifold bolts from the top, and yeah, it all come out together. That come off, inlet manifold I told you about. So these would be the fixings you want to access on the bottom of it, and then just a few pipe attachments. That hose obviously needs to come off, and as you can see, all of the other fittings for the manifold you're just going to access easily from the top. What else do I need to tell you? Everything attached to the head needs to come off, yeah? Everything attached to the head needs to come off. Get yourself a flexible set of ratchets. Between this little baby here and this bigger version, yeah, life changing. If you're doing mechanics, get yourself a flexible head ratchet. Life changing. Very, very helpful. Made doing exhaust manifold and whatnot so much easier than it would have been without it. Get yourself a good tool for the thermostat housing. I removed a little 10mm there, and also a 10mm. Well, this plastic casing here, that loom casing. You see here, yeah. So I've removed the fixings and I've lifted it up, and I was able to run an extension through the good 10mm to get the housing off. And yeah, that was pretty much it, man. The next stage for me, I did say I was going to give you this instructions for the timings, didn't I? Weren't too tricky. Make sure, so these are caps. I can't remember their caps. I remember I was looking for the name. I think they're cam caps. I still may have to look for the name, but and I watched the video back, I remember these are called the caps. Keep them in the same place, yeah? Keep them in order, wrap them in a way where they don't move, if it makes sense, from where you've taken them off, because they need to go back on in the exact same order. What else do I need to tell you? Yeah, that's pretty much it, man. Look, it's not that many components, and I didn't really, there wasn't really anything that I struggled with, like, yeah. The most difficult thing to access was, if I'm honest, like I almost rounded this bolt, it was a bit tight, trying to get at it with a spanner. That's why I've lifted up this loom casing and then come through with an extension and a good 10mm socket. But yeah, other than that, that's it, man. Battery, airbox, hose, everything. That was kind of the order that I started. Inlet manifold, everything attaching to that. Obviously, alternator, and then everything on the side. Water pump pulley, water pump, guide, timing chest. Then you want to, if you're like immediately going to be replacing it, you want to get it on timing, TDC and stuff. Remove the tensioner, and I'll try and give you the procedure for that if I can find it. Tension, everything on the chest. You don't need to remove the sump. As you can see, my sump, and you see those 3 bolts at the bottom there, 1, 2 and 3, that's part of the sump, still together. You can see where the chest starts and finishes. Obviously once the bolts are out, if it's sealed with silicone and whatnot, it might need a little bit of negotiation. That comes off. Tensioner, guide there, they come off. Chain flips off, cams come off, and yeah, that's it. Head bolts. So I hope that makes the video make a lot more sense. This is actually the next day, as I said. It took me about a day to get it off, which isn't bad, and I probably could have done it quicker, and I think it is doable on the floor. So yeah, that's how we're looking. And that's head gasket removal. No, that's a cylinder head removal on a Kia Sportage. These things. This is what's on it thus far. Just gonna let's trace some of these cables. And there's this one, and that's going to this turbo pipey thing, which is straightforward there and there. That one's running like that. I've got that. Now this pipe will stay. Yeah, I just need to take off. Oh, okay. Not too sure this was worth a vid. Yeah, it was. This little rubber hose is going to come off here, and then this plug is going to come off here. And that should be it, to be fair, for that pipe. That'll be the first update anyway. Alright, this is the second vid. Where was I? What was I about to show? Yeah, just this pipe really. Some weird little valve thing coming from there. And then that goes onto this air pipe. Just going to take it off from here. I'm going to start ripping off these plugs and pipes. We'll count this one as 1. That plug, 2. You really have to count them. That one looking like a camshaft sensory thing. These 2 going into this fuely pumpy thingy. That pipe there is going to come off. And that's going into this tubey thing. What else? This little thin cable, it's running through here. That plug we've already said. What else? There's one there, look. There's this ugly grey one, that's going to come off. This is coming off, this is coming off. This will have to come off, obviously. That should be obvious. Yeah, that's going to be you. However that comes off. Yeah, the whole loom's coming off, really, because the rocker's coming off. That one's looking like that. We mentioned that one. Should have. Yeah, we have. That pipe. It's got a little red dot on it and a little foam. What else? Obviously the ignition, the coil ignition. No, they can stay plugged in actually. I'll just pull out the whole coil. The loom itself, bolted down with 10s. This one as well will come off, but apparently this needs to come out anyway to get the rocker cover off. There's a little earth lead there. This plug is going into the O2 sensor. The rest of the loom goes in here, the alternator, but this will need to come off as well. Little white tab, 2-pinny, it's going in there. Manifold's going to come off as well. This big plug needs to get out of the way. Yeah, manifold should come off. Oh well, looking at that's about it. Did I do that one? Yeah, I did. Look at that one's looking like that. Alright, cool, let's go for it. I must have got this plug going into the fuel pump. 2 little yellow tongues here on this side. Looks like that tab comes back. Alright, this one your typical ordinary. This is like a little horseshoe. And I've just literally peeled it off here. Yeah. Hopefully that's all I need to take this off. Before that, this one, pretty much the same thing. Obviously that goes around, I don't know, wherever it fits. The neck goes around there somewhere, possibly in front of the grey clip, I'm not sure. And obviously that part pretty much sits inside the pipe. Let's hope that's all that's required to get this off. What the heck, man? Alright, we'll figure it out. Probably gotta pinch it. We'll figure it out. I think it got mentioned earlier. I've just pulled the alternator plug out just for the sake of me being able. Look, you see the way the loom's gone over it? That's the hard plastic part. Cable goes in front of this hose and then tucks into the plug. So I just want to get it out the way-ish. So I just thought well, to be fair, it's still kind of in the way. With the fuel pipe, where is it? Yeah. Pushing the pipe on that way and at the same time pushing the clip the other way. And that's what released it for me, and it come out. Little squirt of fuel, be wary. I want to depressurize it by opening the fuel cap, etc, etc. Alright, go on, this ain't even a tutorial for you, it's more for me. You know, look, I've just removed this coolant pipe. It goes from the reservoir and it's got two, you see these 2 holes that I've just tucked it behind a dipstick. Where it goes there and there. Yeah. I might even leave the 10 mils in. 2 little 10 mils for the coolant pipe. This plug's obviously gonna have to come off. Yeah. How are we looking? Yeah, look at this one. Just underneath the fuel pipe, there's a 10 mil. Well, I'm assuming it's a 10 mil. Just here, where my finger is. And there's also a little plug there. It's got a brown wire to it. It's gonna go to one of the sensors then. I think. That little yellow wire there. It's like a temperature sensor. Just underneath the back. Got a yellow tab around it, little brown wire. Brown and white. And that's gonna go onto that little temperature sensor just underneath. Tucks underneath here. And we're gonna get the bolt out, which is gonna free up these two pipes, I'm assuming. Alright, this is more for you than me. I just took off the rocket, and as you can see, what a mess. It doesn't get more milky than that, does it? Oh wow. So I'm not sure 100% on the story of this vehicle, the history behind the first head gasket replacement, but I've been told the head gasket was replaced a few months ago, and then the car's come back. There's some issues, no coolant in the resi, and this type of oil in the oil. Yeah, this is just for the sake of the video, really. But I've taken off the rocker. I did have to remove this. So 10mm there, and two 10mm on top of the rocker. That would have been on the other side of that. And then yeah, a little bit of a push, a little bit of a pry, and that's come off. This is what we're looking like so far. So next, I believe I'll be aiming. What the heck is that? Doppy. Alright, next I believe I'll be able to take off the inlet manifold. I've removed the immediate fasteners that I can see, and I do have some movement, although there's probably a few things down there that's preventing the rest of the movement. I'll have to get my head around this little gizmo here at the back, which is a turbo and a DPF, and that will have to come out. Guessing the alternator will have to come off, and then we're gonna have to play with time inside and stuff, remove all of that stuff, and then access these milky bolts just at the bottom there. That's your head bolts. Look, inlet manifold's looking like this. I've just removed a 12mm bolt from here. I just want to show you because there's a few connections. So it's got movement, and we're looking like some plugs there in the front that need to come off. A few things attached to it anyway, and I'm seeing those pipes as well. Watch. So we've got to figure out, and there's a big hose there, which is, you can see what I'm feeding. Get that gun in those pipes. Yeah, there's a pipe here as well actually, going to the cooler. Interesting. I might take it off from here right now. It's just worth noting these pipes. probably take that off from there. Which part of, it's just underneath this pipe where that one goes. That one will still be on the car, I guess. And there was one more, wasn't there? That long one. Yeah, there's another one here. And there's this one as well. So, did I mention this one? I'm probably gonna take this off from here. Back to those pipes then, man. I don't want you to cause me no confusion, so I put some dots on this one because I know there's two little inlets there, quite similar to each other, aren't they? Well, this one here I've put some yellow dots, and I've also put the yellow dots on the actual pipe it came off from. If it stays, that's another question. And then we've got this one that I've just taken off now. This one here, and that goes onto this one here, leading into here. Where was the other one that looked like that? Oh, that would have been this one. Okay. That should cover it, that should make sense. Yeah, sorry, that was a manifold off. That was the last thing that was holding the inlet manifold. Alright, my next, I can't remember where I left you. This is for me. Also for you, as in I can't remember where I left you, but for me, the next thing next thing I've been playing with is the turbo. As you can see, got some movement. Not the worst. Have a look. I've literally taken off all these bolts from the top. Well, they were nuts actually. Yeah, you see the studs? So they're top and bottom. Some here, and then some more. Yeah, there's a stud there, probably in that groove. I removed the heat shield a little bit. There was a 10mm over there somewhere and a 10mm over there. This side's still attached, but I got those bolts off anyway. Got movement. Alright, that's for you. Now for me, I'm probably going to take this pipe off from here. It would be nice if I had the turbo out with all the pipes. It's a lot easier to put them all on instead of having to guess which pipe goes where. But anyway, you see the writing on that one? That's just for me. And you can see what it's just underneath the whatever that is. Right, so we're gonna get rid of both pipes, and there should be no reason to mark them. Now that is how you don't want your oil. What the heck is that? Just coming off with it. I like yogurt. Looks like milkshake, isn't it? Mmm. Lovely. I probably should have drained the oil first. That was where it first started pouring.
Yes, supposed to be oil.
Yeah, supposed to be. Alright, go on, let's get this sump off and see what the sump plug. Let's see what the oil under the sump's looking like. Is it even gonna make the splash can? Alright. Mmm, milky. That is not how you want your oil looking. Ooh, sorry my people, I almost forgot about you. Alright, where was I at when we was faffing about? There was those, what they call these? Those, what they call these? Yeah, those nuts. In fact, this is how many there were that came off the exhaust manifold. I didn't deattach the DPF from the turbo like I was told, and they're all together, and that's off. It's just not enough space for me to pull it out. It's quite heavy, and I'm going to take off the engine mount anyway, which is where I was at. So I thought that's when I remembered you guys. I remember there's two little things that was holding my turbo on. This pipe, this one at first, obviously, and then obviously this one, and then yeah, those turbo bolts, and obviously the clamp, that bracket to the DPF. And yeah, the turbo was free. So then I've gone on to pull off everything on the side of the timing cover. Pulled off the water pump. Pulled off the crank pulley. I'd already pulled off the water pump pulley, this bracket for the alternator, the tensioner pulley or the guide, whatever. It's not a tensioner, it's just a stretch belt. Took off the alternator obviously, and so now I'm attempting to take off the timing chest. And yeah, I've literally just put a block underneath the sump and a trolley jack. And I've removed, have I removed it yet? Oh yeah, I have. So yeah, the engine's free. Now the engine's free, you can see it already, can't you? There's going to be way more space for that turbo and exhaust manifold and DPF to slide through. And then the last thing I should have is, okay, timing cover, I can't go back up to show you, but just a load of 10 mils, a few 12 mils. Let's see. Oh yeah, obviously the wheel came off before I started doing all that. Wheel arch liner now. And then I had access to the chest, and I can actually show you, because I may have to be working down in this position now that I've got the mount off. But yeah, you can see the chest, can't you? It's been off before, which is the whole reason, not by me by the way, it's the whole reason it's coming off again, which is a shame for that person that took it off previously. But yeah, the chest is quite clear, and then majority of those holes are 10 mils. There's a few 12 mils there and stuff. And obviously the water pump and the engine mount. Then the chest will come off, and then I should be able to get the chain off, the camshafts, and then the head bolts. So this is where we're at. Alright, so this is the techie part. Got the chest off. Looks lovely, right? I pulled the turbo out as well. I got someone to, I lowered the engine down with the jack. I got someone to just wrestle it forward, and I was able to get the DPF and the turbo and the manifold out all together. As you can see, here's the chest. What I'm gonna do for you is I'm gonna find the timing marks and everything, and I'll just give you the procedure on how to time it. I'm under instruction, and I've been told don't even worry about the timing, because we got bigger headache, and we'll figure about the timing when we're putting it back. So I'm just going to whip off that tensioner at the back there. So 2 10mm bolts. Apparently there's a spring that you lose once you remove it. So get yourself a spring and a new tensioner, and then the guides, and that should loosen the chain. If I could be asked, I'll just prop this and I'll let you watch me do it, but I can't be asked, so you just have to take my word for it and stuff. 10 mils, tensioner, guides, chain, cams, and then she's ready. Alright, then crack it. Yeah, look. Chains off, guides off, and tensioner come off smoothly, and the guides, they didn't move as soon as you took off the what are they called again? I can't remember. Those little freaking things that sit there. Make sure you keep them all in order. They can only go on the way they came off. What are they called again? Maybe I'll find out by the time I've finished recording this. By the time I've posted this, I mean. But anyway, yeah, head bolts now. Where are they? Those little milky residues. There's one, and there's another, and yeah, there, and there. I believe there's a sequence. I think you start from the middle. I may find out the sequence. Well, I will actually before I take it off. But other than that, that is how you get to the head on a Kia Sportage. This one's a 71 plate. I wish you all the best with yours. What else have I got left? Does that pipe need to come off? Surely not, because the head is here. That's the gasket right there. Okay, the head ends here, and this here is the gasket. Right, go on. I don't even know if I'll show you. Yeah, I will, because you guys want to see what happened to the gasket as well, right? So yeah, one more vid to post, but day's done. You can hear them all telling me to go home and stuff. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Not bad for a day's job though. I hope that's helpful. We're gonna need a set of, I think this is the set that I've got, but this ends at 12. So an M12, and then I've got an M10 like this, and it doesn't actually fit in the gap. And that's what the head bolts are. They're Torx. I may even be able to fit a Torx in there, to be fair. But yeah, you get yourself a good M set. I'm not 100% sure the name of this tool, but for these head bolts, they're going to be an M10. So don't just come out here with your standard tool chest and think you're going to get the head off. Most bolts are just like, yeah, 10s and 12. Maybe I think the mounting was like 15s. Did I mention getting the mounting off? Yeah, I think I have done. But for the heads, you need an M socket. Yourself a good socket like that, yeah? What was I saying? Can you see that? No, them 10 thing. Make sure she's sitting right. You don't want to strip one of these. I may just attempt it with my impact gun. It's not really advised, but if the head's cold, shouldn't have too many issues with the taking off. Yeah, go on. It's better to be safe than sorry, right? There's loads of instructions and tutorials and stuff on diagnosing a head gasket or a head failure, and sequences on what to use and how to get them out, things you should do and shouldn't do, how to skim heads, all of this type of stuff online. This is the age that we're in. We're in the information age. There's a lot of information available. In fact, there's more information available than there should be, if you ask me. But yeah, you're not going to reuse these, although I've seen people do them. Like some people that really don't care type of stuff. You're going to get yourself a new set of bolts. And have a look, research and stuff. This is more a step, not really a step-by-step guide, but at the same time, it's more like a guide, let's say, into removing the cylinder head on a Kia Sportage. Okay, so all the bolts are out, so let's see how easily this head's gonna come off, and let's see what the damage is once it's off. Let's see what's actually happened. Oh yeah, it's coming off now. Oh, that was easy. That was easier than I thought. Come on. I've still got a hose. What else have I got? Okay. Oh, I missed the trickety trick. I missed the trickety trick. I did look at this pipe, and if I go back to my video yesterday, I remember looking at it and saying, do I need to remove this? And I says, no, I don't. But it turns out I really do. Look, you got a bolt right there. Yeah, I don't need to remove the hose. It is just that bolt. Alright, let's get that off. And then let's see what happened to this head gasket. She's free, and so is she. Let's see, is it the right way around?
So where's your oil port?
You tell me.
Is it covered?
Where's the oil port for real? I actually want to know. That looks right, that looks right, that looks right, that looks right, that looks right. Sensei! Alright, this is gonna be interesting. I'm probably as inexperienced as you. Or probably slightly more experienced, but yeah, having a look at this, I'm probably as inexperienced as you. Looks right to me. Let's see what Sensei says.
Excellent. What one's causing a problem?
Yeah. You can.
Not before. It's wet.
Oh yeah.
It's rust on it already.
Yeah, it's pissed. Yeah, it's obvious now you see it.
What's caused it?
And there's not.
It's so precious. With up to 100% leak-free nights, dry nights are clinically proof.
All right, okay, this is not the way to strap an engine, but it's holding. And jacks off. Anyway, unrelated. That's my issue, not yours. So my gaffer thinks that the head gasket wasn't tightened properly in this area here, and that's what's caused the catastrophic failure. He had a look for a little while. I'm not 100% sure of the runnings and how this whole cooling system works and the passages and etc. etc. He's had a look and he's concluded, obviously that's the side that's obviously been taken in the coolant. You can tell that by the pistons. It's not as obvious as we thought it would be, and it's a little bit of a guesswork. To be fair, he's based it on the imprint of the gasket. You can't really see it on this end one, can you? So we're just gonna assume that it wasn't tightened correctly and possibly needs a new engine.